Good day to you. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. The topic today is how to become a qualified social worker in the UK. What are the different routes into the social work profession? In order to become a qualified social worker in the UK and to acquire the title as a qualified social worker in the UK, you would need to study for a minimum of a Bachelor of Arts degree in social work or a Bachelor of Science degree in social work. You can also study for a Master's in social work. If you already have a degree in another field, in another area, another subject, and you want to become a social worker, then of course you would not need to study for a second social work degree. You would just study Masters in social work. So for example, you have a degree in information studies, you have a degree in business studies, psychology. It could be any degree in any discipline, and you decide that you want to become a social worker. You decide that you want to change careers and become a social worker. Then all you'd have to do is study Masters in social work. You would not need to study for another degree in order to qualify as a social worker. There is no need to do a degree in social work and then a Master's in social work. That would not add any benefits to you. You would need to study for your social work degree or Master's in an accredited educational institution. What do I mean by that? The university or further education institute that you choose to study your social work program needs to be officially recognized. So most universities or establishments that offer the social work program would have gone through some form of quality assurance processes in order to ensure that certain standards are met. The other routes that you could take to qualify as a social worker is the employment-based route. Some local authorities will employ you and train you on the job whilst they give you day releases to study. Even if you go for the employment-based route, you still have to study for a degree or a Master's in social work. Some local authorities and social care organisations offer apprenticeships in social work for young people and young adults who would like to consider social work as a career. The apprenticeship-based route is a very good route, it's a very good option, but this route is mainly targeted at young people, young adults, between the age of 16 to 24, 25 years old. On the apprenticeship scheme, you undergo a mixture of training on the job, you go to university to study, and you earn a basic salary whilst you're training on the job. I understand that there are some apprenticeships that cater for, adults any age, so you've got to kind of explore and look into these things further if this is the routes that you would like to take. I would like to highlight that it's very important, and it's for your own benefit, that you try to gain some work experience in the social care field prior to embarking on your social work studies or your social work journey. So for example, you could do some voluntary work experience or some volunteering with some organisations in the social care industry. It could be with children and families. You could gain work experience working with adults. Having work experience even prior to the studying to become a social worker would most definitely place you in a better position in terms of future employment and once you qualify as a social worker. When you're studying for the social work degree or Masters, you will do social work placement as part of the social work degree or Masters. So you would have the opportunity to do social work placement on the field, on the Master's program and on the social work degree program. So on the degree program, which is 3 years, you will do the practice placement in your second and third year. If you're studying for the Master's in social work, which is 2 years, you will do placements in your first and second year. Please note that in social work, once you qualify, you have to start as a newly qualified social worker. Once you qualify in your first year of practice, provided that you're able to secure permanent employment with a local authority or council or any organisation that employs social workers, then you'll be expected to do your ASYE. Now, ASYE stands for Assessed and Supported Year in Employment. So the ASYE program gives newly qualified social workers extra support in their first year after qualifying, or in their first year of employment in social work. Okay, so the other thing that you need to bear in mind, and this is something that comes up quite often, is say, for example, you do the master's in social work and somebody else does the degree in social work. You're all going to start off on an entry level. You're all going to start off as a newly qualified social worker. So it doesn't mean that just because you've done the master's and somebody else has done the degree, that the person with the master's is going to earn more money than the person with the degree. It doesn't actually work like that. If you do the degree or the master's, you all have to start off as a newly qualified social worker. So if you've done the master's, you wouldn't be able to just jump straight into social work management. You wouldn't be earning more money than the person with the degree based on your master's. It doesn't work like that. So I just thought I'll clarify that, because this is something that comes up quite often and some people aren't sure, especially people coming from different parts of the world. Just to give you an example, if you want to qualify as a secondary school teacher or a primary school teacher, you've got to start off as an NQT, which is a newly qualified teacher. If you want to be a nurse, you qualify as a nurse, you've got to start off at band 5 as a newly qualified nurse. So it's the same for social work. If you qualify as a social worker, the master's or the degree doesn't mean you're going to get a higher position upon qualifying. You have to start off as a newly qualified social worker. Okay, so once you qualify as a social worker and you've completed your assisted ASYE, your first year of employment, there are specialist courses that you can do to develop and enhance your career in social work. Again, I will be doing specific videos in the future on career development in social work. Thank you so much for watching me. I hope and I trust that you've benefited from this YouTube video. Please support my channel by subscribing, liking, sharing, and leaving any comments. Stay blessed and see you in my next video. Bye bye.